Hello, friends. Happy eclipse season. This video is being created in the lead up to the April 19th and 20th, 2023 solar eclipse in Aries. And the reason I felt that it was important to create this video for our members is manyfold, really. Eclipse season is a very special, very important part of the year. And this is, again, for many different reasons. My mentor, Katie Sweetman, my astrology teacher, always likes to say that eclipses punctuate time. They're the punctuation marks, which to me means, and what I've noticed about eclipse season is that it really does herald a new beginning, sometimes an ending. Um, Oftentimes, eclipses allow people to kind of flow into and out of our lives. New experiences arise, old experiences sometimes shift away. So the time around the eclipses is really very important for us to kind of bring our awareness to the forefront as to what exactly it is that's going on in our lives. What is bubbling up inside of us? What do we need to make note of that our inner voice, our higher selves are speaking to us about? Because oftentimes around eclipse times, these things kind of flow right through, they bubble over. And if we're not aware, if we don't know exactly what's going on, we sometimes are led to heightened emotions, higher levels of stress, some confusion, some misunderstandings. The way that I like to use astrology is not to be a predictor of what is to come, but rather to liberate and validate the experiences I'm already having. And again, to liberate myself from feeling like there's any one thing that I need to be doing right now to change things. Like, why can I not have more energy right now? What is it that's really dragging me down? Or why am I always so stressed out? When we turn to the astrology, we can see oftentimes that it's because of a lot of these big planetary shifts or sometimes eclipses. Another reason why this particular eclipse is super important is because every 18 months, the mathematical points in the sky that dictate where the eclipses happen shift signs. These are what are known as the lunar nodes, if you want to look into them a little bit more. But every 18 months here, give or take, the lunar nodes change signs, which means that the signs in which these eclipses occur change as well. And so, again, this eclipse on April 19th, leading into the early morning hours of April 20th, is going to happen. It's a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. This is the first eclipse in Aries that is occurring for, I think, I could be wrong on this, but I think about 10 years. That would make sense. Yeah, so in about 10 years. And so if we think back to kind of where we were in 2013, even as far back as 2003, before, the last time that the eclipses were in Aries and Libra, we can kind of get some clues as to the shifts and changes that were occurring in our lives and what may be in store to a degree for this eclipse season. But again, the mathematical points in the sky, the lunar nodes, are in the process right now of changing signs. Since November of 2021, they've been kind of going back and forth, but in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio. So for the last 18 months, we were introduced to a new cycle of eclipses occurring along the Taurus and Scorpio axis. So over the last 18 months, we've likely seen recurring thoughts or actions being taken to stabilize our home lives, our foundational resources, the actual physical homes that we live in, have maybe undergone some changes, as well as our finances. What is it that we really need to shore up financially in order to kind of take steps forward? That's the Taurus side of the spectrum. Taurus is the sign that really shows us all of the things that we need to build as a foundational support under us. And then on the opposite side of the zodiac wheel is Scorpio. And Scorpio, whereas Taurus kind of talks about like what are the structures we need to build in place around newness, the new things in our lives. Scorpio talks about the death and decay of life. And I realize that that can be a little bit challenging to think about, but when we're talking about transition, turnover, transformation, it's the shedding of an old skin so that we can step into a new skin. That's the Scorpio side. So for the last 18 months, we've been kind of having eclipses happen. Again, things, people coming into and out of our lives, in our home life, in our family lives, um, in our financial lives, as well as how that has transformed us into the new person that we are 18 months later. So that's what we've been walking through for the last 18 months. But this April's solar eclipse is the first eclipse that we are having as the lunar nodes are beginning to shift. So we're going to go back and forth. In April, we're going to have this solar eclipse in Aries. And then in May, we're going to have a lunar eclipse in, I think it's in Taurus. No, sorry, Scorpio. It's going to be in Scorpio. So we're still kind of in between the Aries Libra axis and the Taurus Scorpio axis. But come October of 2023, we're going to be kind of fully into the axis of Aries and Libra, which again are also on opposite signs of the zodiac wheel. So what that means is every 18 months, we're dealing with a new flavor, if you will, of duality. And so, again, where Taurus and Scorpio talks about foundationally supporting the new things we need in our lives after transformation and change, the Aries Libra axis is going to talk about what do I really need? What is supportive of me? As well as the Libra side of things that says, well, you can't do it all alone, Jenny. You need people, you need relationships, you need beauty in your life, you need things, you need community. And so the Aries Libra axis is what I like to kind of call the me in Aries versus the we in Libra. So we're going to be stepping into more fully throughout 2023 in this eclipse cycle. We're going to be stepping more fully into the me we axis here. But again, this eclipse on April 19th into April 20th is going to be the first eclipse in the sign of Aries. So it's focused on the me side of that axis. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into all of this and how it really does come to play. Every 18 months, we're kind of shifted into this new flavor of duality, and this begins this week on April 19th and April 20th. So take really good care of yourselves. I am always here to ask any questions. I'm sorry for the dogs barking in the background. Take extra good care. Talk to you soon.